Hi, I'm Christian.
And I'm Angela. And we are married.
And bored.
All right.
All right, Linda.
Yes,
Linda
if you
Belcher.
watch Bob's Burgers, there's a reference for you.
Wow, welcome everybody to another episode of M&BP.
M&BP. Christian's better. Can we get a round of applause?
That's right. I was sick last time. It seems like so long ago that I had that weird cold, but at the same time, I still cough every
so often.
4 times a day. I get some weird dry cough for no reason.
Around. It's hanging.
It's just the dryness here in the desert.
Yep.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Well, I appreciate all the thoughts and prayers that were probably thrown my way.
Hey, listen.
I'm only assuming.
Someone did say, get better, Christian. Or hope Christian gets better.
Okay, cool.
People care about you.
Well, you do. I know that.
I do too.
I think sometimes. Anyways, we hope your summer is going great. We are deep into summer here. Actually, fun fact, in Arizona, summer's over.
I know, but shh, don't tell them because we're going to still do Marvel Champions summer.
Summer of Marvel Champions. The summer season doesn't end until like November in Arizona. But our kids are back in school already, which is just insane.
Love it.
Which is fine because I would rather have them be in an air-conditioned building for 6 to 8 hours a day than like in our house, which we don't keep as cool as like maybe a school building.
Yeah, we do air condition our house.
No, we do.
But
it's not like 70 degrees.
No.
It's like, you go to a hotel and you're like, what's the lowest this can go? I'm going to pump this down to 68 and see how much I freeze.
Yep.
We don't run that. It would cost like $1,000 million here in Phoenix.
$1,000 million. That's an actual number. 1,000 million.
Yeah. From a math teacher, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Just looking out for you.
That you ran with that. So anyways, we are deep into summer. We are still continuing our Marvel Champions summer. But before we jump into the meat of the episode, we're talking about NeXt Evolution, which you could have figured out because last time we talked about the first one. Now we're on the second one. We're gonna start our show like we start every show with a 3-part harmony of.
Who's the third part?
I can do 2 at once.
Whoa. This is blowing my mind.
Angela, we always ask what's up. What has been up with you?
Well, a lot. But if you're talking about board games.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about other things, and that may be in our therapy podcast.
Got it.
It's just called Board of Marriage.
Board of Marriage. No. Okay, I am excited because I want to share that Rune, Rune, messaged us on Instagram.
Sure.
We love it when people interact with us. And said, hey, here's an idea. Maybe talk about storage solutions for Marvel Champions.
And boy, do we have one.
Boy, do we ever. Now, if you're just joining us for this episode, or maybe you haven't been around for a while, we have the entire Marvel Champions collection, including Jubilee herself.
Newly released.
Yes. So when we talk about storage solutions, we are talking about the entirety of everything that has been released.
The entire catalog.
So if you don't have the entire catalog, feel free to modify size or quantity to your needs. But
YMMV. You know what that is?
Your
mileage may vary.
There you go.
That's a cool internet thing that people do sometimes.
All right. So our storage solution for Marvel Champions, Christian discovered way back. I want to say it was released in 2019. I want to say that you discovered this in 2019.
Yeah. I mean, or like 2010. It could have been like ancient times. No, I watched, what is it called? Broken Token. For a long time, they had really cool storage solutions for games, and I bought a few of those. And then the owner was weird, and then I stopped.
Right.
But anyways, so yes, I found them through Broken Token a few years ago, and decided that since we're getting in on the ground floor with Marvel Champions, that we should probably give it a go.
So they are inserts. They're like wooden inserts for a wooden art supply case that we found at
Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, or I think like Michael's carries something.
It's a specific one, though.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it
Okay.
has to be the right dimensions.
Gotcha.
So I think it is the art case from Hobby Lobby.
It's like a wooden one.
Yeah, you find it in the painting section.
Looks like a wooden briefcase. And then we put the insert in it, and now we have two of them. One of them holds the aspects and the heroes, and then we do have a little bit of side space left for like if we have a created deck that we don't want to like break down, we have space to store that. And then in the other wooden case, we have all the villains, all the campaigns, and then we have space to store the hero cards and the tokens and the dials in a separate...
Yeah, just as of recently, it
Yeah.
was all together, but we were able to find a separate little...
GameGenic?
GameGenic, yeah.
Yeah, GameGenic has a nice little tote. We got ours in lime green. Guys, it comes with an optional shoulder strap.
It's pretty cool. It's made for like bringing your Magic the Gathering cards to tournaments or something.
Yep.
Purse style. But we were at our game store, shout out Recreation Games, here in the Gilbert area. And we were just like, hey, would this fit? And I opened it in the store. And I asked the person behind the counter, I was like, do you have any... We put all of our heroes for this game in like top loaders.
Yep.
Which, if you know what they are, if you know what they are, if you're in the cards. And so I was like, do you have any top loaders? She's like, yeah, we have like 50. You want to see them? And I was like, yeah, can I see if they fit in here? And she let us test it out. And
It was
fit.
so awesome.
Yeah, so we bought that. And
customer service.
it was pretty cool.
Because I was thinking like, oh, maybe they won't all fit in this. Because it's a smaller tote. I mean, we don't want another huge art case until we need it.
Until we need it. Do you remember the thought of like, do we need to buy number 2? Do you remember
Yes.
that? Like, oh man,
Yes.
is it to the point where you have to buy another one now?
Yep. And, okay, I can't even forget this. Oh my gosh, there's so much more storage. So then we have cards that we feel either they've redone the artwork on and released more. And so we put the older artwork. Like, if you think about The Power in All of Us, that's a basic resource. And they've redone the artwork now to X-Men.
And they just did the Power of Justice one too in
Yep.
Jubilee.
Yep, so they've done a lot like that. So if we have like if we want to use the new art, we put the old art ones and basically think of this like empty Velveeta box.
Well, it's a it's a cardboard
Yes.
card box.
But that's
Yeah.
like every time I see
Velveeta.
every time I see it, I'm like, oh, it's a Velveeta box.
And the copious amounts of energy genius strength
Oh my gosh.
that we have.
So many. I like my rule of thumb, because we never play this 4-player, is if I have 3 or sometimes 4, sometimes I'll do that because sometimes we keep a deck built that we want to use later. So 4 is my limit. If there's 4 copies of a card in our art case, I kick the rest out to the Velveeta box.
And it gets cheesed.
Yep, gets cheesed. And that's also where we keep all of the hero paper inserts that have like the poster on the back.
I want to do something with those posters.
I know.
Because they're neat.
I know.
But also like
What?
and putting up posters like that, it seems very like juvenile.
Well, yeah,
I want to do it in a way where it looks neat, like
well,
cool.
now there's so many
True.
that you would need an entire room.
Yeah, so like I have the same thought. I just bought a bunch of Star Wars Unlimited cards. And I have 4 posters of that now.
So more posters.
Right. And so it's just like I have a cool one of like Vader, Luke, Mandalorian, and Moff Gideon. And I'm looking behind you with like I have a lightsaber mounted to the wall. I'm like, oh, I could put them back there. But then how do you make it look purposeful?
Right.
Rather than just like the one that's up there right now has push pins in it. So
Yeah.
it looks very like
Well,
junior
you get
high.
a frame.
Yeah, but is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not going to frame all the heroes from Marvel Champions.
No, that would be pretty cool though, actually. Like have
if
them
we had a mansion.
like just at the top of the wall.
That'd be cool. If you have the space for that, let us see it.
Yeah, have you done anything with yours? Also, funny thing, decorating those boxes. I always feel like they need to have like a label of like Marvel Champions.
The art supply boxes that we use. Yeah, because we don't really know which one is the villain box or the hero box until we open it.
Yeah. I thought about like borrowing a Cricut and like trying to get vinyl cut out or something like that, but
that'd be cool. But then, you know, when we need the third, then
like,
it's like
in like 2 more sets.
Yeah. And then one more shout out for Marvel Storage Solutions, or actually I thought of 2. We keep our tokens, which we ordered from Etsy.
Yeah, buy the same token.
Yep, buy the same token. They are so good. So good. Mm-hmm. And they have like anything you could imagine. Like they have special Sandman counters for
Colossus
just for
ones.
Just for Sandman, or like special Hawkeye ally arrow counters that go on just that one ally
from
card.
The base set.
Yeah. So it's like anything you could want, they have. We just have damage and threat and confused and tough.
Yeah, they have like a standard set. Mm-hmm. What it has, you need the thwart tokens or threat or whatever it's called, damage, and what you just said.
So we have that, and we keep them in like little tiny dollar store storage containers. I don't know if they're like technically meant for food. They might be in like the arts and crafts section.
Yeah, probably for like brads and pins.
Yeah, little doodads. Mm-hmm. So those fit in with our hero cards now in our cute tote. And then the last shout out is for our dividers.
We have divider. Oh yeah, we did. We bought dividers from Etsy as well.
Now, why are you laughing? Because this is like the coolest.
No, I know you like it a lot. I'm just like, I forgot that we did that, and we need to buy more because we're behind like 3 sets.
Yeah, so we bought dividers from Etsy. So I think you can buy in sets because that's what we did. So they have every hero, and it's a card that is taller, obviously, than a normal card, so you can see the name. It's the colors of the hero, and none of them are exactly the same because you want to differentiate them. And then they have every single encounter set. They have like modular sets. They have the campaigns. It is so good. It's Tesseract Games.
Yeah, Tesseract Games from Etsy. And like you said, as of right now, I think we're behind. Well, we definitely don't have the Apocalypse set.
Nope.
We have a Wolverine divider, but we don't have. Do we have Psylocke?
No, I don't think we have that, or Bishop.
Angel?
No.
Okay, so we're like 1 X-Men set behind.
Yeah.
But they do cool things where they sell them in sets. So if there's a run, so like right now the run is Magneto, who was just announced, Nightcrawler, Jubilee, and then Iceman. So those 4, you can buy those 4 in a set through this company. So that works really well. And they do the same with all of the campaigns.
All the campaigns, all the traits, like basic and aggression and leadership.
Yeah, and they even have some that we don't use, which is cool.
So those are our shout outs. That's how we store Marvel Champions. Is it like super easy to get out? Not anymore because we have
there's so much of this silly game.
But we know what we're getting into when we pull it out, and so I mean, when we open it, it's organized, and it's not like, oh, we have to shuffle to the bottom of the box for this. And
right.
It's not just like throw anything wherever.
Yeah. So. Check our recent post about this episode. If you're listening to it, we'll post pictures of our storage.
We sure will.
In that post so that you can just get details on like what the heck are we talking about. And we'll put links in the show notes too. Maybe I can find a link to the art box. It's hard to find. Like locally, I found it twice, and that's the 2 times I bought it.
Yeah.
It's like $20, $30, something like that.
That is so worth it for us.
Yeah, it worked well, and
There you go.
we're still going.
That was a long what's up for me. I'm sorry.
No, I mean it's fun. Someone asks a question, we're gonna answer it.
Christian, what is up with you?
So what's up with me is that GenCon is right around the corner.
And you are
Not going. Oh, there's my dry cough. Yeah, so unfortunately we are not going this year, which is fine. You know, like whatevs. Can't go every year. We didn't go last year either.
We just
finished each other's
sentences. Okay, go.
Oh my gosh. So I thought it'd be fun, Ange. I pulled up Gen Con 2024 preview from Board Game Geek, and I sorted it by hotness. So these ones have the most votes of people that have said, I'm excited to see this at Gen Con.
Got it.
So I just thought it'd be fun to scroll for a few minutes and just see what we see and comment on maybe games we might already have because I see one right away, or ones that we've seen online that we're kind of maybe interested in if we see that.
Okay.
So number 1, we'll talk about the first 3. Number 1 with 502 thumbs up,
Woo.
which equates to 251 people.
Yes. Unless someone doesn't have a hand.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or a thumb.
Anyways, it's called Hard Rock 1977. I've seen this posted a lot of people saying, I'm excited for this one. And I honestly don't know much about it, but I want to play it because I like...
Oh, it seems right up your alley.
Yeah, guitars in 70s and 80s. I'm there.
The tagline, rehearse, play gigs, get a record deal. I mean...
And become the most famous rock star of 1977.
Yeah. So, I mean, Christian, this has got the hotness for you written all over it.
I don't know anything about it. I'm looking at some pictures right now, and okay, that's cool. The player boards look like amps with little dials and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, everyone, look.
I'm talking to you.
Oh, he's talking to me.
So that's cool. I could be Donovan Sterling.
You could be.
That's a funny looking guitar. Anyways, there's money. So yeah, I would play that game. I don't know much about it other than it seems to be very popular right now.
I have never heard of that game until just this moment.
It's in the last month that I've seen it pop up on BGG quite a bit and then Instagrams.
Look at that.
Yep.
All right, next one is Arcs.
Arcs.
We have it.
We've played it multiple times. If I didn't have it, I would be so excited for this.
Yeah. And I mean, we still like it. I mean,
no, we have nothing else to say because it's hey guys, we already have it.
Yeah, we have it. I would really like to play the third one, but you would not.
Okay.
And that is Galactic Cruise.
Yeah, and is this a worker placement game?
I actually don't know, but I do know that it looks amazing.
Okay. Didn't we see this at our store?
Yeah.
So it's out. Mm-hmm. I guess all these, they could be out. They're just being featured at Gen Con. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I mean, it's got space. I like space. Yeah, but what is going on? There's so much going on.
It's a table presence.
It reminds me, I see it. So pictures are great for audio podcasts. But
true.
We used to have that game called Prêt-à-Porter.
Prêt-à-Porter.
And it was about dresses and shirts and stuff.
It was fashion.
And it had so much stuff.
So much going on.
And I feel like that's similar to this. Just in my...
That's fair.
In my vibes that I'm seeing right now. So yeah, let's go to Japan.
Oh yeah,
People
that's
are pumped
on the list.
for that. We had that. We played it a few times. I think we need to revisit that.
Yeah,
that was an early summer acquisition, I guess, from the Kickstarter.
Ooh, Knitting Circle.
There's one that you're excited for. What is Knitting Circle?
It is another iteration of Calico.
Okay. Which I think was a surprise for us when we bought that last year or 2 years ago, whenever it was.
Yeah.
It's oh man, this is...
I love it.
Actually really good. Mm-hmm. I like it because it's kind of mindless, but not... You can play it mindlessly in a way, But if you really want to like get the points, you can spend a lot of time trying to figure out where to put those little tiles.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure that's one that we will check out once it's widely available. This is one that I've heard about. It's called Comic Hunters. You look for comic books.
Ooh.
So I mean, that seems fun. Like, fun fact: we just got back from vacation.
Yes, we did.
And your dad has an immense collection of comic books.
He has a comic book collection.
It's huge. From, what do you want to say, like 1960 to 1990?
Oh, no. I mean, he has some from 1930s.
Okay.
And
I would say like the majority, though. Like, he started collecting when he was like a teenager, 20s, and then continued into adulthood.
yeah, so he would get stuff, as a boy. But my dad was born in 1940.
Right.
And so he got, I mean, he has first editions of a lot of things. He even got stuff, as like, at the time was a little older. So like he'll have a 1940s edition of something, even though.
Yeah. So he's like
he was
right in the middle of
zero.
golden age.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool. I mean, I think I would check that out. You mentioned this one the other day.
Oh yeah, luthier. How do you say it?
Luthier.
Luthier?
Yeah, like a creator of string instruments.
Love it.
Yeah, Undergrove is on the list. We should be getting that one in a few months.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing that kind of bothers me, is that we backed the Kickstarter, but they also are like releasing it. I think they're releasing it at GenCon. So
like you're thinking like, oh, if we were at GenCon, we could just have it.
yeah.
Got it.
But I mean, what's a month? Like,
Exactly.
whatever. Slay the Spire is based on a video game. A lot of people are excited about that.
Oh, we already have Forest Shuffle, the
Yep.
Alpine expansion.
We'll do a couple more here because, I love my lists.
He does.
Mandalorian Adventures. I ordered that, so we should get that.
I mean,
Surprise, surprise.
surprise, surprise.
They are releasing our collector's edition, I think.
Of Robinson Crusoe.
Yeah, so that's kind of exciting.
We'll find out how much Robinson Crusoe is liked by Christian
Means to me.
at the end of the episode.
Yeah, how much that one means to me. And then I wanted to show you this one. Cafe Barras.
Oh my gosh, Cafe Barras.
It's build your own cozy cafe and turn your drop-ins into regulars. But it's
at
a
that.
capybara serving coffee.
Capybara.
So, like, you have a weird infatuation with this big rodent.
I do love it. Oh man, there's so many I want to mention.
All right, 2 more right here. Actually, 3 more.
Oh my gosh, 3 more.
We'll just go Cubitos.
Yep.
There's a little expansion for Cubitos.
So excited.
So more dice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, our son loves that game, so I'm sure that we'll probably be making it into our collection.
Yep.
We just received Harvest from Keymaster, which we've played a couple of times. Really fun.
Spoiler alert, great game.
Yeah, there's a lot of hidden strategy there that we haven't figured out yet.
Oh no, I mean, I'm saying great game after like one play.
No, I know. I'm really good at growing crops, but
Yeah, you
selling
are.
them for money, no idea how to do it.
No idea.
And then I've heard this one's pretty good. Kelp, Shark versus Octopus.
Ooh.
So I think it's just a 2-player game. Someone's an octopus, someone's a shark. So there you go. Just kind of some highlights of what other people are excited for, ones we've heard. I don't think there's anything else that I know is going to be at Gen Con. Because I feel like when I got to go, I had a list, and maybe I just was purposeful at the time because I knew I was going.
Yes.
But there's always fun surprises when you go there. So like I remember getting, which I just saw, Cat in the Box.
Yep.
Was like super popular. Radlands I grabbed. Yeah, just a lot of fun stuff. So I mean, I wish we were going. I'm excited to see all the new stuff on social media in the next weekend. If anybody is going and wants to grab me a Star Wars Unlimited promo card, that would be awesome.
Cool.
Just DM me, whatever. So yeah, are you guys going to Gen Con? Let us know.
We would love to hear.
Yeah, that'd be super cool. So we had a big What's Up section of our show, but we want to dive in again to Marvel Champions NeXt Evolution, and we should do that, right?
Right when we come back.
Okay.
This episode is sponsored by Showit. Are you stuck in a boring website template? Maybe you don't even know where to start. Experience the true creative freedom with the drag and drop simplicity of a Showit website. Our website, marriedandbored.com, is a Showit website, and we love how simple it is to create. Get started for free at showit.co. You won't be disappointed.
All right, guys, thanks for hanging out, chatting GenCon, chatting storage solutions.
Yep.
It's like we're on Storage Wars, just trying to organize all of our cards. You love organization, so
it's important.
It's right up your alley. But we're going to talk about NeXt Evolution. This is the second campaign in the X-Men run.
Yes.
And Marvel Champions. Angela, do you want to just kind of explain
overall?
Where do you want to start?
Well, maybe just start with the campaign overall before we get into the villains you're going to face.
Sure.
So this is when player side schemes were introduced.
Okay.
If you haven't gotten that far in your own play, player side schemes are what they sound like. They are side schemes that a player can choose to put in their deck, and so they're not coming from the encounter deck. They have no bad penalty
That we've seen so far.
Correct. Unless some other treachery card says, for every side scheme in play, because then that would count. But they come through a player's deck, and then you can pay, or sometimes they're zero cost, to get them out there. If you are playing solo or two player, you can only have one out there. And if you're playing 3 and 4, you can have 2 out there at a time.
So there is a limit. I keep on forgetting that.
Yeah. And then they give you a sweet bonus when you thread it out.
Yeah.
So, or I mean, take off the thread. Sorry.
Thread it out.
Cable and Domino came in this set.
Okay.
So
an odd pairing when I first heard about it.
Yeah. I mean, it just makes me think of Deadpool too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know enough about each of those characters other than what I've just learned in X-Men 97 this spring.
Right.
And from Deadpool 2. Mm-hmm. So yeah, when I first heard about those two, I was like, Cable's cool. I remember him as a kid. He had a huge gun and like teleported. Domino, I had no idea.
Yeah, Domino. That's a fun one. If you go back to our hero episode, or I guess mutant episode, when we talked about just the mutants, we mentioned her.
Yeah, our daughter is really good at playing her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Each scenario, you're going to get to choose a player side scheme as a group, or if you're solo, just yourself. You have to put the corresponding encounter card for that side scheme, whatever you chose. It'll have a list in the back. Then you put that in the encounter deck, and you have a chance to earn a campaign environment that will help you for the rest of the time.
So give a couple examples of why you would want to choose this. Like, what's the reward?
Well, you have to.
No, I know, but like what?
Oh. So one example is, I forget what it's called, but you choose this side scheme, and then once you remove all the threat, it allows you to shuffle in the resource card pouches. Yeah.
And doesn't one of them give like +1 defense?
Yeah.
Or retaliation or something to everybody?
Yes. Yep. And then one establishes a safe house, and there's a few more.
So they're bonuses to help you throughout the campaign.
So that's like the twist in this campaign.
Cool.
Okay, those are the big things about the campaign overall.
You want to talk about just really quick how Cable and Domino play, just as
refresher?
Yeah, because like Cable is really dependent on those player side schemes.
Yes.
His unique thing is he can have any aspect player side scheme in his deck.
Yes.
And so you can do.
He can
do a lot.
Yeah,
and he gets bonuses based on how many of those player side schemes have been completed throughout the game.
Yes, because they all go to the victory display.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets, if you have this many things in the victory player side schemes or whatever it is in the victory display. And then Domino can like play around with the top card of her deck.
Yeah.
So depending on if she's in alter ego or hero form, she can trade a card from her hand with a card from the top of the deck. And then she plays with discarding. So if she discards a card from the top of her deck and it's a wild, it counts as 2 resources. And that's important because she does a lot of like her pistols are discard a card from the top of your deck, do damage equal to the number of resources. So there's a lot of cards like that for her. And so she's a thinky one, but I like it.
Yeah, a lot of like hand and deck manipulation. It's cool.
Okay. Should we jump right in?
Yeah, let's go to the first scenario. The first scenario is called Morlock Siege. And it's this. I've played this one recently. We played on vacation. It's kind of a beast. It reminds me of the Sinister 5 or 6 or whatever number it is. Sinister
5.
The Sinister 5 just rolls off the tongue.
It sure does.
It's very similar in that there are a stack of 7 villains and you randomly choose 3 of them, basically, right? Like you just flip them over.
Yeah.
You shuffle them and
you shuffle them.
Whatever.
And then you defeat 3 of them to win.
The scenario. Okay. And when we played this last, we won, right?
Yes, we did. Yeah. So a few things that stood out in this one. I mean, there's no real big twist. I mean, we've had different villains before, as Christian mentioned. We've had the Sinister 6. We've had the Wrecking Crew, although this functions differently.
Sure.
We've had like Tower Defense with Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive. So we know the different villain thing at this point if you're playing throughout the release of things. There's no big like other twist to it. I think the text on these villains can be punishing. So I hate Grey Crow.
Grey Crow.
So whenever he is like randomly selected, I'm like, oh, do you want to just pretend that he wasn't randomly selected?
We put him, but you have to fight him later, maybe, right?
Maybe.
If you don't.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He is the worst.
What does he do? Why is he so bad?
You have a choice. Whenever he attacks you, you either discard the highest cost card you control, or you give him plus X attack, where X is equal to the highest cost card you control.
So it's like lose a dope upgrade.
Or an ally.
Give him, oh yeah, if it's like...
Like, oh, I just paid 5.
For Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then, oh, nope.
Discard him, or he gets plus 5 attack.
It's terrible. I mean, all of them are terrible, but I would much rather put one threat on every scheme than have to make that choice.
Yeah, from like Calypso or whatever. Yeah, so there's varying levels of crapness to these villains. One thing that you're going to be doing throughout the scenario too is getting Morlocks as an ally. As you is it as you defeat these villains?
Yeah, when you go to the second
side scheme,
second main scheme, yeah.
And you get a Morlock on your team, and then you have to keep them alive. And if they die, then that's bad, and you start losing.
It's bad. Yep. I mean, if all of them die, I believe that you're done for. So I guess for solo, that's the one. But we played with 2 players, so it was like, just keep one of ours alive.
Yeah, you and I played. I was Cable, and you were Angel, and we did pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that one. The villain, they're hard. There's a lot of health. That's what always surprises me about playing this game sometimes. You're like, oh, there's only 2 people. It's just going to be like 18 health. Like, that's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
But then it's like all of a sudden you just have like 18 minions, and
you're dealing with 5 side schemes.
Yeah, one thing that we always struggle with as we play this game is enemy upgrades. Like, you need to get rid of them right away. Otherwise, you're going to get screwed.
Well, in this one...
And then sometimes you just can't.
I know. Well, that's the thing. It's like discard 3 resources and exhaust your hero. And it's like... So, I feel like... So, in this one, you know how normally when you go from villain 1 to 2, or if you're playing expert 2 to 3, any upgrades stay with the villain. So in this one, because the villain is changing entirely, it does say in the directions to discard.
Okay. So that's not terrible, but also, like, if someone's going to hit you for 5, that's a lot.
Yeah, pretty bad.
I don't like, and I hate defending in this game. I'm like, I'll take it. And then, I have 2 health.
Yeah. And then guess what? When you're done with Morlock Siege, guess what? These villains just come back.
Now you have to run away from who's left from that deck.
Yep.
Basically, right?
So whoever you defeated in the first one cannot be selected. But then you're going to, of the remaining ones, select a random one who basically has Hope Summers captive. And so I think when we played this most recent time, it was Blockbuster that had her captive.
We lost bad on this one. Well, actually, we played a really long time, and then we lost with, like, the villain having, like, 3 hit points left.
Yeah,
because
it was so close.
I think it was because of upgrades. Like, we got hit for a ton.
Stupid.
Let's sell this game.
Yeah, I mean, we're just...
Finish the series.
We're just bitter. We're bitter. Basically, this one is just straightforward, except that you have to kill the villain twice. So
is it just okay? So I don't remember, but is it just one of them? You just flip one of them over.
Yep, and then once you defeat the villain once, it just directs you to flip over the. I don't know if it's called like captive hope or something like that, and then the villain becomes quote desperate.
Okay.
And gets plus 6.6 hit points per person higher, and then. You know, there other things happen. So it's basically like, oh crap, we're getting defeated. That's what the villain's saying. So the villain is like trying to amp it up.
Yep.
Okay. So
other than that, there's not anything fancy about it other than it's just hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then after you run away, you might want to continue running because
keep on running.
Who's the third guy? Juggernaut.
Woo!
One of my favorite X-Men villains, honestly. I think he's super cool.
Yes.
I hate playing against this guy.
So bad.
So like in our most recent run, we didn't make it this far.
No, but we have in the past.
We have in the past, so it has been a while since I played Juggernaut, but I just remember hating it so much.
So he comes out just without any of the fancy stuff I'm going to talk about momentum. Just his standard stats are pretty heavy. So, I mean, he's coming out with like, I think a 1-2, so a scheme 1, a hit 2, but then like a 1-3 and a 1-4.
For 2 and 3? Mm-hmm. That's so insane.
And then he's not just a heavy hitter, so he's not just like a rhino on steroids.
Right, which was kind of who he is.
Yeah. He gets momentum, which is just what it sounds like. It's going to keep accumulating. So as momentum counters accumulate on him, his attack goes up. And then the way you get rid of those momentum counters, it says like as a hero action, you can do this. And then once you do that, it basically takes off his helmet. But you have to be careful, and the timing is important because as soon as he schemes, the helmet's back on. And the momentum counters are back on.
The same amount? Or does it start gaining?
It starts from 1.
Because in the comic, when he stopped, like, you can't stop him unless he stops, right?
Yeah. So now you can't, I mean, you have to really plan it, especially if you're not solo, if you're working multiplayer, because let's say you're like, oh, this is a good time to take off his helmet because I know I'm going to stay hero. Okay, but if the next person is going to go alter ego, all of the resources you just discarded to get his helmet off are like worthless.
It's void, yeah.
Because now he's going to scheme and his helmet goes
and then
boom,
he starts running again.
Right back on. So you really got to be strategic about that.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
I know.
I like him as a character, but not as a villain in this game.
Pretty thematic, though. That's cool.
I think it is very cool. It fits very well.
And then Hope Summers is with you at this point.
Keep her alive.
Keep her alive, because if she dies, the game's over.
Yep. And she continues to go with you throughout the rest of the campaign, correct?
Yes.
And is it one of those where the first player controls her?
Yes.
And she's a pretty strong ally, right?
Yeah.
Like, she does pretty cool stuff. Mm-hmm. But if she dies...
It's over.
Yeah.
And she starts each campaign with the damage that was on her, even if you're not playing expert mode. Or you can do something in exchange, which is add more threat onto a scheme in order to take the damage off of her.
At the start?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and then Mr. Sinister himself.
Yeah, the guy obsessed with the Summers family. Scott Summers, Nathan Summers, Hope Summers. I can't think of Scott Summers' brother's name, but he's there as well. His dad.
All right, what's Mr. Sinister trying to do here?
So, like the comics, he is just trying to... In the comics, he's trying to get mutant DNA and just manipulate it. So the way that it works in the game is he kind of just like takes different abilities from mutants to telepathy.
There you go.
I was like, I can't get that word out. Flight and super strength. And so these are cards that you add into the encounter deck, right? Mm-hmm. And then you just don't want them to pile up. Remind me, Ange, because I don't think I've ever played these last two.
No, I don't think you have.
How, like, when you draw them, do they just get added to a like pile? And it's like, okay, so now he's got flight times 3, so he gets +4 threat or something? Or
no, so he had... These are like... modular, right? So you set them aside at first, and then when you flip to a random 2A main scheme.
Gotcha.
And whatever that one says, he gets that upgrade. So then you would shuffle in the super strength, because now that's what he is.
Yeah, okay.
Or you would shuffle in the telepathy. But then when you go to the next 2A, it's going to shuffle in another one. Yeah. And so now he's aerial, because he has flight, and super strong. And then when you go to 3A, or the third main scheme, it's just ridiculous. So you just kind of want to stay on the 2s if you can. But I mean, the threat threshold is pretty low.
Yeah, it's
five per person, I think.
Yeah, it's made to like flip multiple times.
Yeah.
So you gotta be fast. I mean, like, I just remember him in the cartoon when I was young. He kind of seemed like a wimp, and then recently in 97, he was like really strong.
Yeah.
And he's strong in the comics too. So I do like how they take his obsession with like mutant DNA and just applying it to himself, and that's how he like gets stronger. So I think that's really cool.
And then the last villain, the climax of this whole thing, is Strife.
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like it makes sense, I think, in the story.
Yeah, the story is that
because he's like a future guy, right?
He's capable,
but as the future guy.
Yeah, it's like
So
I don't really know the story.
I'll have to. I should probably do some research for my own brain to figure out who he is. Yeah. He's the big guy in like silver, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he basically, like in the comic that's in the campaign log, Mr. Sinister has like teleported through a hole. You defeated him, so you're going to chase him. Like Hope Summers is chasing him through there, and then you're following, and then Mr. Sinister is at the feet of Strife.
Okay.
So then it's like that's the main final battle. Strife is an interesting one to fight. Most common card type is the thing that comes up with him. So that's like ally, event, resource. So he is all about like punishing you for however many you have of your most common card type.
In your hand or discard pile or
no,
what?
No, in your hand.
Okay.
So his treachery cards have to do with that. Like, they're all different. So it's not like he adds attack every time just because of the card type. It's like sometimes it's about adding threat. And you do get, when you go to the second scheme, main scheme, I believe you get a higher hand size.
Okay.
But then, that also increases
The odds of getting a common card.
Yeah. So there is a hero choice where you can discard a card before you make that count and get punished for it. But then you're discarding a card. So there's just it's bad choices all around.
I just did some offline research. He's a clone of Nathan Summers.
Oh.
So
he is Cable.
I remember when we watched the show and they had baby Cable, and then Bishop took him to the future. Mm-hmm. He was cloned because he got that disease. In case he died, he'd be alive again. But then Apocalypse got the clone and turned him into Strife.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Okay.
So he's tough, right? I mean, he's obviously the last guy. So
right.
He's a beast to fight.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's interesting. I don't quite know how I feel about it. Like, part of me is kind of like, why is he the?
It's kind of anticlimactic a little bit.
Yeah, I
feel like Sinister would be a good ending for this one.
Right.
But
then
whatever.
I kind of felt that way at first with Mad Titan's Shadow.
Like Thanos is not the end.
Wait, Thanos is 3 of 5? Like, what? And then you have to do Hela and then Loki. Like, it felt funny. Now, I loved the way Hela played.
Sure.
So it's kind of more forgiving. Like, Strife, he's hard. But there's no big, like, twist that I...
Yeah. We just don't know. We also don't know the story as well.
Yes.
Like, we had, everyone's seen Endgame. So you're like, oh, Thanos is the big bad.
Big bad guy.
Yeah.
Purple guy.
Grimace. So yeah, Sinister is a big bad in the X-Men world. And I knew of Strife, but I didn't know that he was who he was, obviously. And I guess he's worse than I assumed.
Yeah.
So, on a scale of overallness, like, how do you feel about this campaign box?
It's hard. I feel like the middle is the sweet spot for me in this campaign. Juggernaut and Mr. Sinister, like, redeem this one for me.
Okay.
The Morlock Siege with the Marauders, I think, are what the villains are called. Those 7.
I like those two because it reminds me of the cartoon. Like, I can vividly remember a few episodes of them trying to get Morlocks out of the sewers.
Gotcha.
So that I do enjoy the thematicness of that.
Okay.
But I also, Juggernaut and Sinister are like classic X-Men people. Mm-hmm. So I do like those as well. Yeah,
ending on Strife was a little bit of a wah-wah for me.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Anything else you want to say about the scenarios or the...
I like having Hope Summers come along for the ride.
Hope is cool. Mm-hmm. I like her. I will say there are a lot of modular sets that we're not going to talk about. That you add to each of these that just add flavor.
Oh, yeah.
And so you can...
Nasty boys.
The nasty boys.
Yep. All right. Well, when we come back, we are not going to quite wrap it up yet. We are going to talk about something we posted on Instagram.
Yeah, our games.
Yes. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Marvel Champions Next Evolution. For me, I'll grade it really fast. I would give it a B. It seems okay. It's okay. I also never finished it. So
it's true.
Like a lot of my homework in high school, I'd be lucky to get a B because I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
But I'll give this one a B.
Okay.
Because of the thematicness and fun characters that I like.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you know, but I'm really up on, like, pop culture.
Yes, I know this.
And people are doing this ranking with all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, what is it called?
Tier Maker.
Well, that's the site, but...
What is it called?
It's just a tier list.
Oh, it's a tier list? Are you making fun of me?
Nope.
All right. So the tier maker is not like crying tears of joy.
It could be after our argument discussion here.
We opened one of our game cabinets. We found that it had 44 games in it.
Yes.
And we just decided to go ahead and rank them from on a scale of S
tier down to D.
S to D.
Yep.
And also we had a category of did not play. Like we've never played it.
And they're just in our cabinet. Yeah.
Sorry. It's in our cabinet. Listen, 2 of them we got from a friend, so we haven't played them yet. And the other one we got a long time ago and we still haven't played it.
Yeah, whatever. Shelf of shame. I thought it'd be fun to rank these. We've never done anything like this with our games. Because Angela is so up on pop culture, she's probably seen people do this with like Super Nintendo games or cereals, candy. Like people do it. Marvel Champions Heroes. I've seen that, and there are a lot of those, and it'd be very hard to rank them all.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, Doctor Strange is always S tier in every single one I see because he's just so dang strong.
Hulk is always D tier.
He's always way at the bottom, and I think I don't know. Black Widow's pretty low too. People don't like Black Widow.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we could do that at the end of this. We can do our own rankings. We kind of did that in the show. Anyways, so we thought it'd be fun to rank our games. We did it separately.
Mm-hmm. Secretly.
Separately. And we're not going to go through everything because there are 44 of them. But I thought it'd be fun we could each list our S tier and then comment on each other's list and just say like maybe a couple surprises or like what the what's and then just kind of anything else and maybe some similarities.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go first on mine or do you want me to go on yours or?
I'll go first. A disclaimer, just real quick. I'm reminding people this is just one of our game cabinets. This is not our whole collection.
It's the main one that we put the games that we are happy to play.
Sure,
if someone came over and said, what do you want to play? We would say, pick anything from here.
But there's more games I would put in my S tier.
For sure. This is just what is in the cabinet.
Yes.
Yes.
So you want me to read your S tier?
No, do your S tier,
okay.
And then you can just look at and I'll read my S tier. Let's do that first. So S tier.
My S is Ark Nova.
Okay.
Obsession.
Yeah.
My Island.
Okay.
And Robinson Crusoe.
Okay. I think it's funny that I also had 4 in mine.
Ooh, same seas.
Yeah, they are not the same, however.
No, they're not.
Star Wars Outer Rim, Arcs, The Fox Experiment, and Star Wars Rebellion. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of funny that they both had 4. I don't think mine was very much of a surprise. In fact, my friend Josh at work the other day, he's like, "Hey, I saw your tier lists." I knew exactly which one was yours. And I was like, how? He's like, Star Wars.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, and leader games.
Yeah, that's true. Some other trends between the two that are similar. Our C tier is pretty similar in number. And then B tier is pretty similar. You have more A than I do. And then our D tier is about the same as well. So,
yeah.
What do you have to say about mine, Ange? Let's hear it. Good and bad.
Okay.
Shocking. Here, I got you.
The most surprising one for me was Rebellion being listed in an S tier.
Okay.
So explain that because we have not played that in 2 or 3 years.
No, it's been a long time, and I think after doing mine and seeing yours, I think we had a little bit of a different strategy in ranking these. Mine were just like when I played these, I thought it was great. Mm-hmm. And you can explain what you thought, but it was more like, and maybe I'm wrong. If someone asked me to play any of these 4 games, I would immediately say yes. Yeah,
it was like, okay, if someone says you get to choose the game, I'm going to choose something from the S tier.
Okay.
That's how I view
and I was just like, when I play these, I am having fun.
Okay, yeah.
Which is probably the same for yours, but it's just...
mine's a little narrower, because it's like, I wouldn't...
But would you put, like,
Rebellion?
Would you put Rebellion in your top 5 all time?
Oh. I don't know anymore.
Okay. Just curious.
It's been so long since we played it.
Yeah, we do need to do that one again. I think there's just a classic, obviously Star Wars nostalgia for this one in my heart.
That's true.
So yeah, that was my thought for Rebellion.
No surprise that Abomination is in your D tier. It's in my A.
So my D tier is like the antithesis of your A tier.
Seriously. It's like, well, no, we both have Mythic Mischief in D.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mythic Mischief.
Hey, there's a game in there somewhere, and we're willing to give it another go.
We've given it a lot of goes.
Okay, well, maybe it's time for it.
It's not.
Maybe it's time for it to go.
It's not for us. Yeah, I mean, what surprises you about mine? Or do you have a bone to pick with one of mine?
I don't think I have a bone to pick. I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised that my island is so high.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's new, but I didn't realize that you loved it.
I love it.
Okay.
I would play it every weekend if we could, but we
just to get it done, yeah.
No, not just to get
Well, no, I know, because it's fun and you want to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we can't, because we play it with a group of friends and we can't just put our lives on hold every weekend.
That's very true. I mean, I'm not surprised at a lot of yours, especially the top ones. Like Abomination's high, Lacrimosa is high, Dune Imperium is high.
Yeah.
Obviously, Calico is high. Calico's still high in mine, so it's a B compared to your A tier. So nothing crazy there. I don't know, what's the biggest gap? Is it like
the Oath? I think.
Oh, you have Oath in D, and I have that in A.
Yep.
I was gonna say Azul because I hate Azul so much.
Yeah.
And then yours
so
is in
sad.
B. Yeah.
Dice Thrones, big gap.
Okay. Yeah.
Christian likes it. I gave it a D. It's meh. I'll play it if
I think so. Dice Throne, I remember debating. It's only in B because of the theme.
Okay. All right.
So it's probably a C.
Got it.
But because it's like I'll throw Thor dice around, like that's cool.
Yeah.
So
I did want to ask you.
Yeah.
Why not in an accusatory way, but just is Glow a D for you because you haven't played it in so long, or because you had no fun when you played it?
Probably a combination of both.
Okay.
It's visually very cool to see.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I don't remember the game. It's been a while since we played it, so I'll admit to that. But I think it was ranked low because I'd rather play other games.
Yeah. Okay.
In the cabinet.
Well, you'll have to look on our Instagram if you want to see the full 44.
Yeah, we'll post
each
it.
Of us.
We have a couple, like some of them that are exactly the same. Let's just run through those a little bit. So we have in our C tier, there's a lot of commonality. We have Scythe, Picture Perfect. What else?
Pax Pamir.
Yep.
Bark Avenue.
The Initiative. Boop.
Mm-hmm. And then in our B tier, we both have Arnok.
Oh yeah, would you look at that? And the new game, Harvest.
Yep. In our A, we both have Mariposas.
That's true. That's a good one. But then, like, nothing else matches in our A or S.
No, it's very true.
But we almost got Fox Experiment, so that's the closest. Like,
that's pretty close.
Stars of the game. So
yeah.
It was really fun. I always like looking at these. I've never made one. I always think about doing them. I was gonna say an idea I had, but I'm not gonna say my idea because someone could steal it.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Anyway, so yeah, this is our tier list of the cabinet. Mm-hmm. There's some big omissions, like you said, Ange. Like right next to our cabinet is all of our root stuff.
Right.
Right next to our cabinet is
all of our Stonemaier
games. So there's a lot of bangers that aren't on the list, like Wingspan, Root, Undaunted is. I don't know if it would make the list. Like, I don't know where to rank that one off the top of my head, but that's like on the cabinet. Parks is
Marvel
a great
Champions is not in the cabinet.
it's a great game we both love. So, so this is just where we are in our current
cabinet status.
So, if you had to pick one game to play from your D tier tomorrow,
okay,
what would you pick?
I can choose the number of players.
Yes. Well, I mean, hopefully
it's not like solo.
Hopefully, it's not just one. Hopefully, you ask if I want to play as well.
Oh, so I have to play with you.
Well, I guess if you have friends that want to play it, then go for it.
Just kidding. Okay, if I had to play something from my D tier tomorrow, I would play a 3,000 Scoundrels.
Oh, wow. Okay. Why that one? Just seems...
It's quick and I know the rules. Get it over with.
Everything else sucks. So the funny thing is you say that all the ones in my D tier, not all of them, but the majority of them are not quick and they have a lot of rules. And that's probably why they're made in your that.
D tier.
I guess I would just choose in mine Azul or maybe Glow. They seem quick and easy.
No one's choosing John Company.
No one's choosing John Company. Robinson Crusoe is in your S tier, and that's the biggest right there. Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, somebody can play Robinson Crusoe.
We'll go to therapy about Robinson Crusoe.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. Well, that's our fun little tiers that we made. Maybe we'll do some more, or maybe like we can start doing different category, different things. Favorite coffees.
All right, let's wrap this baby up.
Let's wrap it up.
What is bringing you joy outside of board games? Do you want to start?
I think you should start. Okay. Yours is very joyful.
I have an exclamation point next to it. Ready? My birthday!
Happy birthday.
Yeah, my birthday is the 25th. So, I'm very excited.
What are we doing?
So much. We are going to Hamilton.
Yeah, you wanted... This will be our second time seeing it, but you wanted to see, like... You're like, oh, it's coming in July. We're going for my birthday.
We're going for my birthday.
Kids are coming. It'll be fun.
Yeah. We saw it the last time it was here 2 years ago. And then we did not take the kids. Now we will be taking the kids. And I am excited to see them see it. Yeah,
I think they're excited, but they're also like not nervous, but
it's new. They've like, never been to...
How is it going to be different than the one on Disney Plus? It's like it's going to be very different.
Right. Well, yeah, Lin-Manuel's not going to show up. But yeah, so my birthday, and I am just a big fan of birthdays. So
yeah, there's a lot of pressure on me.
But rolling my eyes.
We're going out to dinner.
Yeah.
We're going to go to a fun place down in Tempe, Arizona.
Yeah.
Before we go. And we're gonna
party it up.
Have a good birthday.
Good birthday.
Yeah.
All right, Christian. What's bringing you joy? It's probably not my birthday.
It's your birthday.
Aww.
I was trying to think of something, and like I don't think I can say anything that I haven't already said.
Okay, that's fair.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I could say, oh, playing guitar or video games or learning arcs. So like I just kind of we just got back from vacation. I still feel like I'm in like that zone of like, oh man, I still have to go to work.
Okay, so what was the best part of vacation then? What brought you joy on vacation?
Vacation was very fun. We went to Minnesota and hung out at the lake. And so like when I mean hung out at the lake, like we literally did nothing.
Yeah, it was so great.
Except ride around in a boat, float on stuff, swim. Like
how many times did you pee in the lake?
Well, I peed in the lake more than not in the lake.
Okay.
So like that was my goal, is to like never use a toilet.
Great.
Welcome to Minnesota, y'all.
Welcome.
Actually, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, we had a great time. It was amazing to be on the water.
It's fun. We're thinking about trying to go back next year.
But then there's GenCon.
Well, it's late. We're back already and school's in sesh.
It's true.
So, Angie, reading any books?
Oh, Christian, I am.
I figured.
I am reading about the Challenger.
The space shuttle? Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's my physical
Not
book.
real world road worlds challengers?
No.
Okay.
And then I'm going to mention 2 audiobooks because I just finished one today and just started the next one today. So I'm technically currently listening to The Rose Code, which is a World War II book.
You read a lot of World War II books.
But I finished The Last Murder at the End of the World. I think that's what it is. It's the newest release by Stuart Turton. Anyway, he is the author of one of my favorite books of all time, which is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle.
Oh, yeah.
So this is his newest one. I finished it today.
Was it good?
It was good. Okay. Not as good as Evelyn.
I think that'll be one of your favorites for a while. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Christian, still not reading?
I finished one of my summer reads. It was the pamphlet in the airplane. Learned a lot about No, I finished another Jack Reacher book.
Hey, good job.
It's the one that is the synopsis for season 3. Which I got really into that show a few months ago and watched season 1 and 2, and then I found out what 3 was going to be about, and I read it. I like its books, the books a lot. It's basically the show 24 in book form.
Love it.
So like I loved 24 when that was on. Fun fact: I hear they might do a 24 movie, and Jack Bauer's coming back. He's like 87.
What? Oh my gosh! What about Chloe?
Chloe, damn it, Chloe. But the thing that my pet peeve with these books is that they go, and then it's just over. Like there's no, and that's just kind of who he is. He's just kind of like a vague, like he just goes from place to place. Mm-hmm. So he goes and he like either solves a mystery or kills a bunch of people, and then he's like, well, Miami seems nice. Thank you for listening to.
Oh
and it's like, seriously?
Oh, man. There needs to be an epilogue.
They wrap it up a little bit, but I just wish there was a little bit more.
A little bit more of everyday life.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out for with us.
Yeah, that's correct.
English. Last episode, I did say that you can text the show from the app. Your podcast app, and we asked the question, what are your favorite heroes in Marvel Champions? And we did get a response from Fear the Beard 513 in Kansas.
Woohoo!
So we appreciate the text, man or woman. Well, a beard, so I'm assuming it's a man.
Well, just say Fear the
Fear.
Beard.
That's true. So maybe like as you'd be like, I don't want a beard.
Exactly.
Anyways, so in order, he said number 1, Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Wolverine, and Spider-Woman.
Oh, Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman's cool. She's got that, she can like increase her stats based on cards played. That's pretty cool. Hawkeye's an interesting one. I'd like to like play him more. He seems kind of one that I wish I knew more on how to play.
Yeah, it's like there's a whole range of like middle tier where you're like, okay, it's not so horrible that I remember that it's horrible, like Hulk.
Yeah.
But it's also not like the new hotness, so you want to go back to
Right, I just remember a ton of arrows. It's like the ones that do damage and the ones that threat. So, yeah, it's fun. So we appreciate the text. Angela, do you have a question that you want to ask everybody so that we can get some more responses?
Ooh. I would like to know what your favorite X-Men villain is.
Okay.
In Marvel Champions.
Sure. So we'll include Mojo in that.
Yeah.
Are we talking about just major villains from the campaigns?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let us know who your favorite X-Man villain is. You can find the link to text in the show notes. Just from your phone, click it. It'll send a message to us. Make sure you just say, if you want to say your name, say your name. and where you're from. It'd be fun to just know where you're from and answer the question. We appreciate all messages and Fear the Beard. We appreciate you texting in. So anything else you want to say before we open up a portal and get out of here?
Teleport away.
Whoa. Away.
Away. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Married and Bored podcast. And guess what? We have a website where you can listen to podcast episodes and so much more. Find us at marriedandbored.com, or you can email us at hello@marriedandbored.com, or follow us on Instagram at marriedandbored. Music in this episode is by Joseph McDade. See you next time. Okay. Whoa.
Sorry, there's a prospector here from 1849.